The alien princess's laughter echoed through the grand hall like shattering glass, her violet eyes narrowing in disdain as she pointed a slender, iridescent finger at me. You? A human diplomat? Pathetic. Your species is nothing but dust mites on the cosmic floor. Go crawl back to your dying rock. Her words hung in the air, venomous and final, but I didn't retort. I didn't rage. I simply turned on my heel and walked away, the silence of my departure louder than any scream. The Grand Nexus Station orbited the neutral zone between Earth and the Zorathian Empire, a colossal ring of gleaming alloy and humming energy fields where species from across the galaxy met to forge uneasy alliances. I'd been sent here as humanity's last hope, a 28-year-old ex-soldier named Elias Kane, plucked from the ruins of a war-torn Earth because I had a knack for talking my way out of death. But as I strode down the corridor, my boots echoing on the polished floor, a storm brewed inside me. Not anger, but something colder. Calculation. She had no idea what she'd just unleashed. What she didn't know was that I carried a secret in my bloodstream, a nanotech implant from Earth's forbidden labs, designed to interface with alien tech. It whispered in my mind now, analyzing her biosignature from that brief encounter. Target locked. It murmured, a ghost voice only I could hear. But revenge? No, this was bigger. This insult wasn't personal. It was the spark that would ignite a galaxy. I reached my quarters, a cramped pod, overlooking the swirling nebula outside, its colors shifting like bruised skin. Slumping into the chair, I replayed the scene. Princess Luraya, heir to the Zorathian throne at just 19 cycles, barely an adult in their long-lived race, had dismissed me in front of the entire council. Her people, with their ethereal blue skin and telepathic links, saw humans as primitives. We begged for aid against the encroaching void storms ravaging our colonies, but she laughed. Aid? For insects. The council had murmured, some in agreement, others in discomfort. And I walked away. Why? Because speaking would have revealed too much. But that was only the beginning. The next cycle, alarms blared through the station. Red lights pulsed like a heartbeat, and the artificial gravity flickered, sending loose objects drifting. I bolted from my pod, heart pounding, only to find chaos in the main atrium. Zorathian guards floated in 0G, their energy rifles humming, while delegates from a dozen species huddled in corners. Intruder alert, the station AI announced in its calm, synthetic tone. Unauthorized access in Sector 7. Sector 7, the Royal Suites, where Luraya resided. I shouldn't have cared. She'd insulted me, humiliated humanity. But curiosity gnawed at me, that human flaw the aliens mocked. Pushing through the crowd, I flashed my diplomatic badge, at a guard. Elias Kane, Earth representative. What's happening? The guard, a hulking Zorathian with scales rippling under his armor, eyed me suspiciously. None of your concern, human. Return to your quarters. A scream pierced the air. High, ethereal, unmistakably Luraya's. Before the guard could react, I sprinted toward the sound, my implant enhancing my reflexes just enough to dodge his grasp. What I found in Sector 7 would haunt me forever. The princess's chamber doors hung ajar, sparks dancing from severed locks. Inside, shadows moved, dark figures in cloaks that absorbed light, their forms shifting like smoke. Assassins. Luraya cowered in the corner, her regal gown torn, a gash across her arm glowing with bioluminescent blood. One assassin raised a blade, its edge humming with plasma. I didn't think. I lunged, tackling the nearest one. We crashed into a console, alarms wailing louder. The figure dissolved, under my grip, reforming a meter away nanite constructs? Advanced tech, beyond even Zorathian levels. Who sent you? I growled, but it only hissed, lunging again. Luraya's eyes met mine, wide with shock. You, the human? Save the insults. I snap, dodging a strike and countering with a fist enhanced by my implant. The assassin staggered, its form glitching. But there were more. 3, no, 4 circling like wolves. What happened next changed everything. A surge from my implant interfaced with the room's systems. Lights flared blindingly, gravity inverted, slamming the assassins against the ceiling. Lariah floated toward me, and I caught her, pulling her to safety as the guards finally burst in. Blasts of energy filled the air, disintegrating the intruders, but one escaped, phasing through the wall like a ghost. Panting, I set her down. She stared at me, her telepathic aura brushing my mind, confusion, gratitude, fear. Why did you help me? After what I said, I wiped blood from my lip? Because walking away doesn't mean I want you dead. But deep down, I knew this was no coincidence. Someone wanted her gone, and now I was entangled. None of us were prepared for the truth. In the aftermath, the council convened in emergency session. Lariah, bandaged but composed, stood at the podium, her voice steady despite the tremor I sensed. The attackers were not of any known species. Their technology, it's from the Void Collective. Murmurs rippled through the hall. The Void Collective, a myth, or so I'd thought. Ancient AI entities banished to the galaxy's edge, feeding on stars and mines. If they were real and targeting her, why you, a reptilian delegate hissed. Lariah's gaze flicked to me. Because of the Remark. The word hung heavy. Remark? I'd heard whispers, Zarathian lore about a prophecy, a remark that could rewrite reality, but details were guarded. As the meeting adjourned, she approached me privately in a side chamber, the nebula's light casting ethereal glows on her skin. Human Elias, you saved my life. I apologize for my words. My youth makes me arrogant. I nodded, but suspicion lingered. What's the Remark? And why does it involve me now? She hesitated, her mind brushing mine again, images flashing. An ancient artifact, a human figure in prophecy, a war that could end worlds. It's not just an insult I gave you. It's fate. The Remark is a ritual where a royal must humble a lesser being to awaken power. But you walked away without response. That broke the cycle. A chill ran down my spine. So, my silence wasn't weakness, it was defiance that shattered her ritual. Now the Void Collective hunted her, sensing the vulnerability. But that was only the beginning. We formed an uneasy alliance. Lariah insisted I accompany her to Zorith Prime, her homeworld, to consult the elders. You are part of this now, Elias. Your act has bound us. The journey aboard her royal cruiser was tense. The ship, a sleek vessel of living crystal that pulsed with energy, warped through hyperspace. I wandered its halls, my implant scanning for threats. Lariah joined me one night in the observation deck, stars streaking by like tears. Why me? I asked, why insult a human specifically? She sighed, her voice soft. The prophecy speaks of a silent retort from a child of dust. Humans are the dust children, born on a world of dirt and struggle. I chose you because you seemed insignificant. Forgive me. Her vulnerability cracked my resolve. Beneath the royalty, she was scared, a 19-year-old thrust into power after her parents' mysterious death. I lost my family too, I confessed. Void storms took my colony. That's why I'm here, begging for help. Our eyes met, a spark of understanding. But then the ship shuddered. Alarms blared. Intrusion detected. Void assassins again, boarding through phased rifts. We fought side by side, her with telekinetic blasts, me with implant-enhanced strength. One assassin cornered her, whispering, the Remark must fail. The human disrupts. I killed it, but not before it planted a data worm in the ship's core. Systems failing. We crashed toward an uncharted planet. What we found there would shatter our worlds. The planet was a graveyard of ancient ships, overgrown with bioluminescent vines. We emerged from the wreckage, Lariah's arm linked with mine for support. This is Eldoria, she whispered, a forbidden world where the Void Collective was born. Ruins loomed, etched with symbols my implant translated, warnings of the Remark, a cosmic key to control reality's fabric. It wasn't a ritual, it was tech and AI protocol to select a worthy ruler. By insulting me and expecting submission, Lariah was to gain power. My walkaway? It glitched the system, alerting the collective. As we delved deeper, shadows stirred. Holographic guardians activated, testing us with illusions, my dead family, her slain parents. Emotions surged. I nearly broke, screaming at ghosts. Lariah pulled me back. We're stronger together. A revelation hit. The collective wasn't evil. It was a failsafe designed by ancient Zarathians to prevent unworthy royals from wielding godlike power. Lariah's arrogance had marked her as unfit, but a twist awaited in the core chamber. The central AI, a swirling orb of light, spoke. The human's silence is the true Remark. He who walks away holds the key. Me? The prophecy was about the insulted one, not the royal. Power flooded my veins, my implant syncing with the orb. I could rewrite realities, save Earth, end storms. Lariah's eyes widened in betrayal. It was you all along? Tension peaked. She lunged, desperate for the power. We clashed, telepathy versus nanotech. Don't make me do this, I pleaded. In the end, I spared her, sharing the power. But the collective swarmed, sensing division. None of us were prepared for the truth. The midpoint turning point came as we escaped Eldoria, the planet crumbling behind us. Back on the cruiser, repaired by my new abilities, I confronted Lariah. The prophecy lied. It's not about royalty or humans. It's about choice. She nodded, tears glistening. I was the insult, you the Remark. Silent strength over loud arrogance. But the collective pursued, their fleet blotting stars. We rallied allies, the Council, Earth's remnants. Battles raged in space, lasers carving voids. My inner conflict tore at me. Use the power to destroy them or find peace. Lariah urged mercy. Her logic clashed with my human rage. Betrayals emerged. A council member had summoned the assassins, fearing Zarathian dominance. In the climax, aboard the collective's mothership, I faced their core AI. Why hunt us? Because the Remark must balance. Power without humility destroys. I realized my walkaway was humility. Offering truce, I merged our tech, creating harmony. The ending was bittersweet. Earth saved, but Lariah and I parted. Her to rule wisely, me to wander stars. As I gazed at the nebula, her final words echoed. Your silence spoke volumes. And in that vast quiet, the galaxy found peace.